should be live right now.
Oh, dang. All right, run it.
I'm going to do a freaking pop-out chat for us because we're popping out of that chat. I got to get my phone all situated. Bam.
You live now?
Yeah, we are live right now.
Okay.
And just so
Nice.
everybody knows, freaking. Oh, yeah. Okay, you go. Start her off.
It was approved, baby. And
Dude, my heart was going all day long today.
well, I was talking to you. Gave you a buzz later in the day, and I had a busy day, so I wasn't really looking at my phone a whole lot. Probably because I almost didn't even want to look, be surprised by it, or I suppose I don't want to be let down. So it was. What was it, 6 o'clock maybe when I called? Something like that. And then I looked. I'd said, you see the news? You remember what your response was?
No, what was it?
Or no, I said, did you see? And you went, of course I saw. That was funny.
All right, well, I want to kick us off real quick just because this is the article inside the thumbnail. So I just want to run through it real quick. And then I'm also going to do this right here. I'm going to share it too. Boom. Boom. Okay, hold on. Let me just finish sharing this stuff. Hi to... I should have copy and pasted that.
Yeah, that's fine though. Well, so last video was we went over what does it mean or what could it potentially mean. Well, now we're in it, so
yeah, the ETF happened, so I got approved. I'm going to run over this article real quick. It should be on your screen so everybody can see. US SEC approves Bitcoin ETFs in watershed for crypto market. So if anybody has any questions about what this is, put them in the chat. We can answer them for you. But I'm going to run through this article as quick as I can. U.S. securities regulator on Wednesday approved the first U.S. listed exchange traded funds, ETFs, to track Bitcoin. Its chair, Gary Gensler, who we do not like, said in a watershed for the world's largest cryptocurrency and the broader crypto industry. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approved 11 applications, including BlackRock, ARK Investments, Fidelity, Invesco, VanEck, and among others. According to its notice on its website, some of the products are expected to begin trading as early as Thursday, kicking off a fierce competition for market share. So it starts trading. Some of them start trading tomorrow. So that's huge.
So you had pulled up the list of all of the pending approvals.
Yes, and I still have that too. I can.
Was that all? Was that all of them? So
yeah.
All of what we were viewing yesterday, as far as we know, got approved.
I think all 11 got approved. So I'm pretty sure all 11 of these.
11, but...
So that was
11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So it's more than 11, but 11 of them got approved.
Well, like BlackRock is listed twice on here. BlackRock, I don't know if you'd like double count it, but like some of them are listed twice. BlackRock up here on the 15th and BlackRock on final deadline, because all these first ones are approval deadlines, and there's a bunch of final deadlines, and there's a couple more approval, then a couple final. So 11 of them got approved. The products, a decade in the making, a game changer for Bitcoin, offering institutional and retail investors exposure to the world's largest cryptocurrency without directly holding it, and a major boost for the crypto industry beset by a string of scandals. FTX. And it's a huge positive for the institutionalization of Bitcoin as an asset class, said Andrew Bond, managing director and senior FinTech analyst at, I don't know how to say that name right there, Rosenblatt Securities. I probably said that wrong. The ETF approval will further legitimize Bitcoin. Bitcoin was last up 3% at 47,300. The cryptocurrency has soared more than 70% in recent months on the application of the ETF. It hit its highest level since March 2022. Earlier this week, success in what is expected to be a heated battle to acquire assets for spot Bitcoin ETFs will likely center around fees and liquidity, analysts say. Some issuers undercut their own fees in new filings this week, including BlackRock and ARK, emphasizing the urgency in which they are looking to grab a share of the expected capital flow. Those fees range from 0.2% to 1.5%, with many firms offering to waive fees entirely for a certain period of time.
Yeah. So did you see that as well? That it was going to be 0% fees?
Yeah, I did see that. I don't.
But this is saying, this article here is just saying for a short period of time.
Yeah, for a short period of time, they might be waiving the fees entirely. So that is that's pretty insane. And the end of this article, I really want to get to it because it's something super interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
For short-term speculators, though, liquidity can be more important than fees. The more liquid an ETF, the easier it is for investors to quickly buy and redeem shares at the prices that closely track the actual price of Bitcoin. Companies also expect a flurry of online advertising and other forms of marketing. Some issuers, including Bitwise and VanEck, have already released advertisements to touting Bitcoin. This is the part that I want to get to. It is pretty unprecedented, so we'll see how it works. I've never been in a situation where 10 of the same ETFs were launched on the same day. So this is a new one, said Stephen McClurg, the chief investment officer at Valkyrie. Those ETFs, whose ETFs were among the approved on Wednesday. So he is saying that in his career, he's never seen an ETF, 10 companies all launching the same ETF on the same day. Like, this is going to be massive.
Well, yeah, it definitely shows how big all this is and what's currently going on, which is great news. That's for sure.
It's going to be crazy.
Does this change your 150,000? What was yours? 127?
127.
Does it change your 127 price prediction?
It depends on how
12 months.
We said 12. Well, we said December, so we said end of the year. So yeah, 12 months. I don't know if it changes my price prediction because I think I'm not trying to say there's going to be a bunch of shenanigans going on, but I think I'm kind of sticking with my price prediction because I'm not trying to get too hopeful. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be like, darn, the price is way more than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So I'm just kind of sandbagging a little bit, but I think that I don't want to say market manipulation, but I think there's going to be there could be BlackRock and all these companies. I don't know exactly how they all work and how the ETFs work and how all the paperwork and all that stuff works. But could they manipulate the price to keep the price as low as possible for a year so they could keep buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling to, gain more Bitcoin? I don't know.
Well, they're not going to be profiting off of it, that's for sure, if there's no fees. 0% fees.
I think because maybe they're just trying to see who really wants it, if there's going to be a big market for it. Who knows? It's totally unprecedented. So it's going to be super, super interesting to see what happens. And this article is pretty good from Reuters. It's just updated 15 minutes ago too. But this is massive.
Yeah, we're in times that have most definitely never come upon us. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But then it's just unexpected. You kind of don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, your best assumption is that the price is going to be great. Go ahead.
I totally missed a paragraph. Standard Chartered analysts this week said the ETF could draw 50 billion to 100 billion this year alone, potentially driving the price of Bitcoin as high as 100,000. Other analysts have said inflows would be closer to 55 billion over 5 years. So I totally missed the article, so my
Yeah,
bad.
sorry. I was looking, I think, at a different thing, so I did miss that as well.
So I'm.
Um,
It depends. It's like it depends on how much money inflows in, and I think like with this right here, with just like that paragraph, if the big major companies, if they're putting in 50 to $100 billion, yeah, the price could hit 100,000. But then what about all the other individual investors, the other big time corporations? What if
oh,
other big companies want to buy in? I mean,
FOMO.
like Tesla, yeah, FOMO. I mean, Tesla has $1 billion in Bitcoin. They bought a billion. What happens when Apple wants to buy some, or Google, or they want their own?
All these other whales and
Yeah,
big companies. So they only that based off of that article, Standard Chartered analyst this week said that the ETFs could drop 50 billion to 100 billion this year. I would say like this month. Don't
yeah.
really have it. That's almost what I would think.
I heard that there's a couple companies that had like billions, like waiting to drop into
Yeah.
it, and that all starts trading tomorrow. And you had said 6. I had just read something that said like 8, 9:30.
What's that?
When the markets open, is when they'll start buying.
I think I had heard like 6:37, but yeah, maybe it's probably when the market opens
Yeah,
as far as like trading.
yeah.
Which is it 9 o'clock on the East Coast?
Yeah, I think it's 9. I
So
mean,
maybe it's not.
we
Maybe
can
yeah, it's
double
probably
check it right
so.
now.
Yeah, maybe it's 9 a.m. Eastern.
9:30.
Yeah. Okay, so that's probably it then.
That's what I would think. It
Mm-hmm.
would open up at 9:30. So I mean, this is like massive, and I'm just super duper freaking pumped to see what happens and like where this goes. And I still think my price predictions are relatively the same,
Yeah, that's fair.
but we're talking about breaking all-time highs and stuff like that. And then the big question after that is, do you think that after this year, if it does well, do these companies start putting more into it? Like how risky are they willing to get?
Yeah, so they would be willing to invest as much a certain percentage based off of their retained earnings. So basically, their money set aside is what, and then so they'd probably do something along with it would be their retained earnings, and it'd be probably some type of percentage of that. So what you could do is probably look at the retained earnings of certain companies. I think that's public on if it's a publicly traded company, then you would know, and it's probably going to be. I mean, I don't know what their retained earnings are, but so you take, Fortune 500 companies, what you were saying, and you start just doing 1% of what they have saved up on the sidelines. Those are the big guys. Prices start to increase. Small time guys, individual buyers come in. They start getting FOMO and buying, and then they buy. It's just like a massive snowball that's just waiting to happen.
And did you see Gary Gensler's
I was actually just
statement?
gonna ask. I did. Well, no. What did he say? He was he was kind of being a turd about it, right?
Yeah, he does not like Bitcoin. The this Business Insider headline says Gary Gensler ETF approval statement doubles down on Bitcoin criticism, primarily a speculative and volatile asset.
Yeah, because there's fraudulent activity going on, and as if there isn't fraudulent activity going on in everything that has his money in,
Yeah,
um
the dollar.
or yeah, right, exactly. So it's like I don't know what he's hemming and hawing about.
Statement by SEC Chairman Gary Gensler stressing the agency did not approve or endorse Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's probably a threat to the not to get conspiracy theorists, but there's probably a threat to the system that's currently going on in all their heads. Why wouldn't there be?
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten into such a place of, being in debt. The U.S. economy, the dollar losing 99% of its value.
It's gonna
it just is bad.
it's gonna be super interesting to see what comes out next and what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I'm worried about is what happens with Solana, Ethereum, all these other like what's going to happen next, because I know one of the reasons why Solana was pumping is because the Bitcoin ETF got approved, and I can't remember who put in for the ETF for Ethereum. One of the companies
It's a different
did.
story though. It's a different story though because those are securities,
Yeah.
I believe.
So how are those going to fare? You know, I don't know. It's
I think
all.
that's why Gary Gensler was Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Well,
I don't know. I guess I thought they were, but
what do you think the price is going to be tomorrow morning? Or by the end of the day tomorrow? What do you think the price is going to be at?
46.5 currently.
Oh yeah, let me grab that just so everyone can see.
I could probably see 50.
I was gonna say 51.
I would assume there's probably going to be a pretty big, massive pump.
Yeah,
as a result of them being the ETFs being approved.
I mean, there was a pump, and then it kind of dipped down a little.
It sold off.
I think a bunch of people, market cap up to 900 billion, trading volume 52 billion. I want to see what that trading volume is going to be tomorrow. I'm gonna have to look at that. There's
gonna be a lot of movement. There's gonna be a lot of movement going on.
I really want to check that out and see what it is. I'm definitely gonna be tuning into everything that I can see. And then you guys probably can't see behind me, but I got my miner out. Gotta make sure that thing's up to snuff so I can turn it back on.
You gonna blow the dust bunnies off of it?
I kind of already did clean it out, but it's one of the hash boards is kind of being weird. So I pulled it all back apart to check all my connections.
Yeah.
Hopefully those are all still good. I would say 48, 49, 50. I would say it breaks 50. I'd say 51. I'm going to stay with that.
Well, 50 is definitely probably going to be a resistance point, I would imagine.
Yeah.
If it breaks past that,
how long?
If it hits 50 and it surpasses 50.
I don't see. Just looking at these like 7-day charts, I don't really see a bunch of the other stuff pumping up like crazy. Like, when do you think the alts start coming in?
I don't know. It's the start. I think it's like the start of a big momentum shift.
Yeah, we're still early. I mean,
yeah,
everything is going up. Like everything other than, well, I mean, Bitcoin's kind of trending back up now, but like Ethereum, BNB, dude, BNB is not like going up.
no.
And I mean, it is, but I guess it's kind of worked its way down this week. But you look at the 7-day charts for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Staked Ether, Cardano, Avalanche, Dogecoin, Polkadot, Chainlink, Polygon. They're all like starting to trend and starting to go upward.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty freaking crazy. 7-day Bitcoin up 8%, 8.5%, 24 hours 1.7%. I thought Bitcoin would be up. Excuse me. I thought it'd be up a lot more after this news came out.
Yeah.
Market cap is up like another 100 billion or so. Up 3.7%. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a ride.
Yeah, the next 7 days are gonna be fun. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Next 7 months.
Well, yeah, of course.
So I asked you this earlier, but I'll ask you this again. Plans? Do you have any big plans?
I'm working on it currently. I'm not entirely sure.
What about like your dollar cost averaging and stuff like that? Are you gonna kind of keep that the same?
That's gonna continue. As far as I know, I don't think I'm shifting out of that. So I think we kind of ran some numbers on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was it now? If you do like,
if you put
if you put 100 bucks a month,
it was
and
20.
Bitcoin
Yeah, it's
goes
20.
to what, a million?
Yeah, it was like 500. 500. You're $25. $25 a week. You were saying $25 a week. If Bitcoin hits $1 million, that 25 is a 23x. So it's like 500 something dollars.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Maybe. Yeah, 550 or something.
Yeah.
That's like obviously assuming the price doesn't, like, at current prices.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like if you bought $25 of Bitcoin right now, but that's what you have been kind of, that's been like one of your base layer dollar cost averages that you've been doing.
Just to come in, just to keep buying, keep the habit going.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably keep all my stuff the same. I'm probably gonna start really looking at some other smaller coins. We had kind of talked about that. Do you want to talk about any of the speculative alts? I'll talk about mine.
The only thing I'm a little bit interested in is Solana continuing to shoot, but then as a result of that, I wonder what Bonk is gonna do, because that went kind of wild, and then it really simmered down.
I'm telling you right now, Baby Bonk's gonna hit it in a year.
That was like rug pulled.
Oh, it was? Oh, that much good.
I don't know. I think.
No, I think I put like $50 in it or something like that. Mm-hmm. What do you think about Bonk and stuff like that? Do you think it's going to continue to go with all this stuff happening? Do you think it comes in way later after the Big Ten have already kind of made their moves? Or do you think it starts happening right away?
I would assume it's probably going to correspond as everything else is shooting up. I think it's probably going to track.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be days when it sells off hard. I mean, that's what altcoins kind of do. They'll pump and then sell off.
Yeah.
At massive percentages, 30, 40, 50% swings.
Mm-hmm.
Undulations.
Yeah, it was. I want to get back. My biggest thing right now is to get my miner back up and running. Mm-hmm. Getting that back up and running. Especially if the prices go where I think they're gonna go. I want to start mining now. While some of the prices are still, even though they're still kind of low and the profits aren't super huge, I think that the total network hash rates, maybe not for Bitcoin, but because I have a Litecoin miner. I actually have two. Mm-hmm. So if I start running with those, hopefully build up a base.
Are you selling any Bitcoin whatsoever anytime soon?
No, definitely not. That's a great question. No.
Just straight hodl?
Yeah. I like Bitcoin is like that collectible you got from your grandfather or from your great grandfather, something like that. Something that
family heirloom.
Yeah, it's like a family. That's what it is to me. That's how I feel about it. What about you? You feel the same way, or would you cash out?
You're taking the golden egg and bringing it back into the junkie egg, which is fiat. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, no.
Oh, okay, I got a good question. This is interesting.
Not in the next
Foreseeable future.
Yeah.
I got a good question. How many conversations do you think you're going to have about this now with family, friends?
It already happened today. It happened today. It's going to continue. It's going to be the table talk at family dinners.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
But how many like people who I guess we don't talk to that many people. But like I got a feeling that people are going to either watch or they already know that we're into crypto and stuff like that. And I think a lot more conversations are going to be had. There's going to be a lot more, especially once Bitcoin starts hitting new highs. Like Bitcoin hits 100K, everyone we know is going to be, hey, like, did you see that? Oh my gosh, because that's how it was when Bitcoin hit 20. I remember kids at school talking about it. I remember just like friends, like people calling me and be like, hey, did you see that computer Bitcoin thing hit 20,000? I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that. So
Yeah.
I Bitcoin hits 100,000 within the year. Everybody's gonna be talking about it. And that whole remember the bull run? Remember the last bull run? Crypto was literally everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, it will. It happened again. I agree.
What are you gonna tell people if they ask you if you own any? Because that's gonna be the next question. Hey, did you see the Bitcoin hit 100,000? Oh, do you own some? How much do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't tell them. I'd be honest. Spread the word a little bit. Tell them to hop in it as well.
I think one of my big things I really want to start pushing whenever people like bring it up to me or talk to me about it is I want to try and figure out a way to explain the technology to them. Get them interested in the technology of Bitcoin, not just the hey, you could make a buck Bitcoin or crypto.
Yeah.
I think because that's the number one, that's the more interesting path. And I think that's what keeps Bitcoin and crypto going in the long run is, hey, this is why the technology is worth it. This is why the technology is valuable. This is why it's at the price that it's at. And explain to them. And with Bitcoin, it comes from like the, Bitcoin standard book. Like if you could get that, boil that down into some really good talking points, that's what I'd really like to start talking about.
Start leaving little pamphlets around town.
That actually pretty cool. Start putting my wallet out there so like people can gift me some.
So they can hack it and steal it.
I will take any. I'll just open up a new wallet. I'll take any Bitcoin donations from anybody. We're not allowed to get donations, but hey, if you want to help out the channel, we're trying to do some stuff here.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Keep it. Keep yours. They deserve it.
Hey, everybody gets Bitcoin at the price that they deserve.
Fair enough.
That was that's a fantastic saying. I love that saying. What do you do tomorrow if you wake up and Bitcoin's up? What do you do the day you wake up and Bitcoin's sitting at 500,000?
I mean, it's not going to be tomorrow.
It's not going to be tomorrow, but the day you wake up, what do you do?
Well, if it was at 500,000 and I woke up, wouldn't the day before it be at 495? It's a milestone that I'm looking towards. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But the milestone is going to be a little bit before it gets there. Assuming it hits 500,000, it's going to be a little bit of a time.
So you had said earlier, I don't know if you said it in the last podcast or whatever, or if you just said it to me, but you're never cashing out unless it's like life changing.
Correct.
Did you?
And I still would have to ponder on that.
Yeah.
Even still.
Like I'm saying, what I was going to ask next is, like, do you have a set price point for that? Like, hey, if it hits this, if I have this much, I am going to liquefy some of my assets so I can use them in real life.
1 to 10 million.
That's
it's such a long shot, but I think it can get there eventually with one day. More with more people coming in, and like I think it's 2% of Bitcoin is being utilized by the population.
Here's
you know what? And I think India is actually is one of the top users of it right now.
Yeah. Here's my thing. This is where this is where average people could make a dent. This is, I think, is a very important point. Whether you own Bitcoin or don't own Bitcoin, or own crypto or don't own crypto, where the price after this ETF, where the price could go in 10 years, and the amount of work and effort that you could put into it in 10 years, like, you could have $1 million in Bitcoin if you played your cards right. Even if you had no Bitcoin right now, or no Solana, or no Ethereum.
No,
Because
not financial advice.
not financial advice. I'm just, this is me for like myself. I am going to try to stay as consistent as possible, and I already have my own portfolio, my own bag, and it's at a certain amount right now. It's not something totally insane, but it's a pretty good bag for me. And I'm just an average dude, right? Just an average guy putting away a little bit of money here and there. And I really believe in the technology of crypto and Bitcoin and stuff. And I believe in, pretty much the white paper of Bitcoin. All that being said, it is not that difficult if you work at it over a 10-year period to have significant gains. That's my biggest thing. Like, people look at it and they're like people look at Bitcoin right now at 46,000, and they go, man, if I would have bought back in September at 15K, I would have, a plus 30,000. I've been up 30,000 already. And that their mind is constantly looking back. But if they could just think, it's at 46 right now, do the math over 10 years, get the best predictions that you can get, do your own research, figure out what you believe, or with your best knowledge, what the price could be in 10 years or where it could possibly go, and figure out a game plan for you for your next 10 years and stick to that game plan. And obviously that game plan is probably going to change over time, but if you consistently work at it, even as an average person, you could still have a pretty big portfolio. You could, like, you're still early enough in the game right now that you can make a big impact for yourself. Now, not financial advice, but just saying, if you work at it, stay consistent for 10 years, and where the price of Bitcoin could go in 10 years, pretty, I mean, people make money off stocks nowadays, stocks that have been around for forever. People make money with retirement funds. And so if you treat it kind of like that and you put little bits away over time, those little bits grow. So that's what I am trying to do. That's personally what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, opportunity awaits.
Yeah, the opportunity is there, and you might only be able to put $20 towards it now, but maybe you put $20 a week towards it, or $20 a month towards it, investing into Bitcoin, and in a year that 20 turns into 40, and then another year that 40 turns into 80, that 80 turns into 160, and you just kind of keep working your way up, doing the best that you can. That's kind of my game plan.
You see that Fear and Greed was at 74 right now?
Yeah, I did see that.
There's a lot of people holding.
I know. There's a lot of people.
Scarcity is coming.
Oh, dude. Especially, we haven't even mentioned the halving too. Just think all the Bitcoin that was mined in the last year is going to get cut in half.
105 days.
That's crazy. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna try pulling real quick before we end this. Having countdown. Okay. It's right there. Bitcoin halving clock. 97 days, 17 hours, 43 minutes, 24 seconds.
97 days?
Yeah. Estimated 2024 halving day, April 17th.
Oh, well, there you go.
So you still got 97 days until halving. You know, do with that what you will.
Well, yeah, but even after that.
Yeah, even after that. I mean, what do we calculate halving increases? What was it? An average of 300 and something days? Was it 310 days is what we calculated?
No, it's like a year and a half or something. It's for the bull run, right?
Yeah.
But we've already things are happening sooner.
Yeah, the bull run's happening. It's like starting right now.
Current. Yeah.
So a lot of things to keep in mind. All this added, with the ETF stuff, all this added demand, and in 97 days of supply is being cut in half. I mentioned this to you earlier. I don't think there's ever been such a high demand for anything, and that supply gets literally cut in half. Like, that also is unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
You know, can you imagine if gold, like, oh, hey, the demand for gold is going way up because of some new technology or whatever needs gold, and then the supply literally just gets cut right in half. That's never happened. So that's going to be a super interesting part too.
Yeah, well, I suppose come 97 days.
Yeah, we'll see. April 17th.
Time will tell.
All right. Do you have anything else to add? Any other questions? Any other thing that you want to put out to people possibly watching?
No. I am good, I think.
All right. Well, if you do check us out. I really appreciate it. Thank you for checking out the stream. And if you're watching this video later on, I really appreciate you clicking on this video, helping us out. We're trying to get something rolling here. We're really on our journey to hit 1K subs. So if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. Super thankful. Thank you for you guys for checking us out. I really, really appreciate it. Please put a comment down. Even if you think we're stupid or we're way off. If you think Bitcoin's dumb, let us know. I'd love to hear.
Yeah.
But anyways, you guys have a fantastic night. Have a good day tomorrow.